Adults only resort, family friendly resort. What's the difference and how do you choose? Hi, this is Jack with Vacationese. Hey, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you'll be notified. I do post new videos every Tuesday. So the first question, or one of the first questions you have to ask yourself is, can you host your destination wedding at an adults only resort or a family friendly resort? Now, if you have no children under the age of 18, you can host at an adults only resort. But here's the issue: is there's different types of adults only resorts. So let's talk about it. So really, first, what's the difference of adults only and family friendly? Well, right off the bat, we pretty much know there's no kids. So if you're not going to have anybody under 18, you should really look at adults only. Here are a couple things, in my opinion, of why I like the adults only option. One is there are no kids, which is great. So the vibe is really different at the resort. If you go to a fancy restaurant or a romantic restaurant, there's no babies and strollers crying behind you while you're trying to have a romantic dinner. You can hang out at the bar and there's no kids running around spilling on you. You can be in the pool and there's no one shooting water pistols. You can be at the beach and the kids aren't getting yelled at by their parents. Hey, I've got 3 kids. I've been there, done that. So it's just something to think about. Now, there are different types of adults only resorts. So I want to just go over that with you. So you really have 3 different types of adults only resorts. The first one I would say is couples only. And it really does mean couples only. So as an example, in Jamaica, you have sandals, you have couples. Now those resorts really are geared with romance in mind. Great to have destination weddings at, but one key thing is all rooms will have king size beds. And if it's not all, it's almost all, by no exception. So the key is, if you're going to have grandma and her sister coming, they're going to be stuck in a king size bed. So you really have to watch out when you work with your travel professional that if you're picking an adults only resort and it's a couples oriented or couples only resort, that you make sure that they do a bedding that'll meet the needs of your guests. Again, those are great resorts that are couples only, but they are typically for couples only. Your second group of resorts are what I would call semi-couples only, or romance oriented. So those would be resorts like Secrets, and also some of the Iberostar Grands. These are really oriented towards a romantic experience. It's not really, it's still fun, but when they first started these resorts, in my mind, they were competitors with Sandals, but as they've kind of morphed, they do have rooms with 2 beds in them, so it's not a problem. There's an active vibe. But they really are kind of a little bit more subdued resorts. They're great. And again, some of those would be the Secrets, also the Eldorados, I would say Unico, Hard Rock, potentially, that does have an adults only area. So again, great options. Now, your third option is if you want a really active vibe. There are a couple new resort companies that are out there that if you want to party and dance and really be active, and it's a lot of singles, but they do have areas that may be quieter for the couples, would be Breathless and Chic. There are multiple Breathlesses in Mexico. There's one in Jamaica. Chic is the same company as Royalton, and those resorts, in my opinion, again, will have a more active vibe. I've stayed. Some of them do have quiet areas if you want to be not in the party, but as an example, many of those resorts will have DJs in the pool. Most of the resorts today in 2022 are going to have, and this is the couples resorts, the active resorts will have foam parties, they'll have DJs, but I just find that the Breathless brand, which is a lot of fun, is really geared towards a more active party group vibe. Now, your option, if you're not going to do adults only, let's say you have a limited number of kids, but a lot of adults, there are very limited number of resorts that are what I would call sister resorts. So as an example, in Riviera Maya, you have Generations, which is family friendly, and then you have Eldorado and Eldorado Casita, which are adults only. So that you can have guests staying at both sides, you get the benefits, and then have your wedding events at the family friendly. But the nice thing is adults staying at both places can share the amenities of both. If you and your friends are staying at the adults only, but you have cousins and brothers or sisters that are staying at the family friendly, you can go up and hang out at the pool. If you have the friends at the family friendly and they can get child care for their child, they can come down and have dinner with you or hang out at a bar or do something with you. So in each destination, Punta Cana, Jamaica, Mexico, various places in Mexico, there's usually 1 to 4 resorts that are combo, that are sister, one next to the other. It's a great idea, I think. There's a new one that I was just at, which I did a video of, which is Secrets Bahia Mita and Dreams Bahia Mita in Puerto Vallarta. I think these are really good options for groups. I can tell you that recently, I sat down and looked at a lot of our groups that were at family-friendly resorts, and many of them that started out with family-friendly ended up with either no children in them or 1 child. So I think it's very, very important when you look at your guest list up front, you determine if you're going to have any kids attending, because the first thing we're going to ask you, or any travel professional you're working with, is, are there going to be any guests under 18? Now, your last option is this. There are a lot of resorts now that will be family-friendly resorts, but may have an adults-only swimming pool, an adults-only bar, an adults-only restaurant. One of my favorites with that right now is in Mexico is Azul Beach Riviera Cancun. In Punta Cana, you have Dreams Onyx, which actually has a whole preferred club area. Also in Mexico, you have Finest Playa Mujeres, which does have the Excellence Club, which is the adults-only area within the resort. So you have a lot of options if you want that adults-only vibe. But again, I think this is something you really need to look at up front so that you can, when you're working with your travel professional, pick one of the perfect resorts that is perfect for you. And again, there are a lot of options, so find the travel professional, and hopefully this information is helpful as you go down the road of picking a resort for your destination wedding. Again, I'm Jack with Vacation Ease, and feel free to subscribe to the videos.